Hey, welcome back. It's Terrific Tuesday here on Liquid Lunch. We're in the Newsmax headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. And so much going around the world. We talk every day about Bitcoin and how it's performing and all other parts of the market and trade wars and all that other good stuff. The Dow and Bitcoin are pretty docile today. The Dow's down 50, Bitcoin's down 30 bucks. But we have with us, joining us today is Dr. Peter Morici. He's an economist, professor emeritus at international business at the R.H. Smith School of Business at the University of Maryland. And you may know him because he's known around the world as one of the foremost experts on economy, and he's got some great opinions. And Dr. Morici, thanks for joining us today for a Liquid Lunch.
Oh, nice to be with you. What are you drinking today?
Well, as we are every day, we are in the Question Tequila Studios. One of our great sponsors is Question Tequila, and we also are well fortified with Punzoni vodka, straight from Italy. And we have everything you need, Doc. We'd like to have you down here one day and enjoy a beverage.
Very medicinal.
Yeah, John also has some chocolate milk in defiance of the forthcoming ban on chocolate milk in New York City public schools. So he's breaking all sorts of rules today.
So, Doc, one of the things I want to talk about, and we want to get your insights on, is this Facebook Libra currency that they are saying they're coming out with. It's being touted as a cryptocurrency. That's not really how I see it. But it is still a digital form of asset transfer, but it's backed by cash, so it's really like a receipt. What do you think this Libra thing is all about, and is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, I think it's very innovative, and I think it has the potential to provide speedier payments around the world to ordinary consumers and great B2B transactions for small businesses and so forth. It has the potential to be a very stable means of exchange. So it's more than just a receipt. It's going to be backed dollar for dollar by reserves. The only way you can get some Libra is to purchase them with dollars or euro or yen. And they're going to back them with a basket of currencies, much like the IMF's SDRs, which governments use. So it would be, so many yen, so many yuan, so many Swiss franc, euros, dollars, and pounds. That would make the value of this thing very stable. Because, well, the dollar goes up and down and the euro goes up and down. A basket doesn't move very much at all. So it would be very, very attractive. Frankly, it would be an alternative to the dollar, I think. And, it isn't just this institution in Switzerland that would be able to trade in it or whatever. There'd be nothing to prevent, for example, Citibank, which has a worldwide payment system in the dollar, from setting up a worldwide payment system in Libra.
Yeah, and Doc, one of the things, I was part of a team at T0, which is a subsidiary of Overstock.com, and we did one of the first federally regulated security tokens here in the U.S. We were, kind of the innovators in that area. And when I look at this thing, I feel like all the banking committee and all these people are coming out. We got to stop it. They can't do it. And I look at that as the bank lobby, because you said it perfectly before. This is a much better form of cross-border payment transactions than anything we have out there, and this is going to cut a whole bunch of profits from the banks. You think it's the lobbyists that are pushing the legislators to stop this thing?
I think it's also the federal government feeling threatened by it. Governments generally feeling threatened by the loss of sovereign control of money. But since the thing is backed with money, I think that's a false fear. Part of the problem also is in an era of electronic transfers, there's no reason why we need to use banks as much as we do. We should be able to have deposits at the Fed, deposits at the European Central Bank, so that we essentially have electronic money. The UK, the Bank of England, is looking at that very seriously and cooperating more closely with Libra if it comes to pass because of that. It's a very innovative concept. Now, a lot is going to depend on how the IRS treats this. If you pay for something, if you buy some Bitcoin and then buy something with it, each purchase is considered a separate asset exchange. And you have to pay capital gains and losses on that, which is absurd. So you have to keep immense amounts of records. Whereas if you buy some euro and then buy stuff with it, because it's a currency, they ignore it. Since this is currency based, you don't get it by, buying a piece of a company. You don't get it by solving a mathematical problem. You don't get it by any kind of wizardry of any kind. It should really be treated as currency. If the IRS treats it as something else, there's a real, if it treats it as an asset and charges capital gains in the manner it does Bitcoin, it's really an effort to squelch it, and that's wrong. And, I have to say this also, is that if they do that, this is liable to happen outside the United States anyway. And the United States is very powerful, but it's only 20% of the global economy. People use the dollar because it's convenient. There's nothing to prevent them from finding this convenient and doing that. And big companies, they can easily keep those transaction records for the purposes of capital gains and losses. They can do it automatically. So, it would make it less effective. But I think the bigger loss could be to the United States by cutting itself out of the game.
Yep. And, Doc, one final question I have for you. You're talking about that basket of currencies that will be back in the stable coin. What happens if, you said there won't be a lot of volatility in it because it's a diversified basket of currencies. But what happens if all those currencies go up? Do the people have more Libra coin in their account?
It's impossible for them to all go up at the same time. The way foreign exchange works is that the dollar is the base currency, and people evaluate their currencies against the dollar. So the value of the dollar goes up, it means everybody else is going down, and vice versa. So no, I don't think that we need to worry too much about that particular problem.
Got it. Well, Dr. Peter Morici, I want to thank you very much for joining us today via Skype. Frankie and I insist the next time you're here in New York, you come down the studio and share a question tequila or vodka with us, and we'll have a real liquid lunch. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Okay.
We'll see you soon. You at home, you stay right there. We're going to take a quick break. Come back to you right after this with Carrie Severino.
Liquid Lunch Live is brought to you by Question Tequila.